Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's hit the ground running. We have a story here. I guess Regina Daniels has spoken up a little bit today. So let's go ahead and listen to this video together and then we'll take it from there.
Hi guys, okay, I'm here at the hospital. I'm about to run my drug tests.
I have to turn up the music over there.
For something he would
Okay.
you were confirmed,
There we go.
but you're negative completely, okay? So you got nothing to worry about. And then if they're giving you any problem, just give us a call back at this phone number. Okay? Thank you.
All right, so she's crying. All right, so we're looking at Regina Daniels. She went to do a drug test, so she's about to talk. Let's listen in.
Hi everyone, it's Regina Daniels. You know, I don't believe that I would sit in front of this camera again trying to clear up an accusation that was sent to destroy me. You know why? I don't fight my battles. I leave them to God. Because I believe so deeply that any mouth raised to speak evil against me will in time use the same mouth to speak good. Well, it's a new year, and with it came a moment of clarity. I realized that there are certain narratives I can no longer allow linger over my name as a public figure. I also realized how many people love me, look up to me, support me, and believe in me. And I would never want that love or loyalty to be met with shame or doubt. One thing I underestimated is the strong personality God blessed me with, and the overwhelming love I receive from my family, my fans, friends, and those who just generally believe in me. They stood firmly by me when everything felt heavy. And some people walked away, which is totally fine, because I understand that people rarely want to be associated with what looks like failure. And not everyone can stand when storms arise. I mean, tell me, what better way to tear down a brand than drugs? Still, I am endlessly grateful for the opportunity to speak my truth and to reclaim my story. Believe me when I say, taking this test, it's not just about clearing my name. It's about giving a strong and confident voice to those who believe in me. And above all, to give my children something priceless. Pride. That when they grow up to the proper age of understanding, they would know that their mother was never a drug addict. Regina Daniels is not a drug addict. I'm aware that many will make reference to the past posts I made about drugs. But that belongs to the old version of me. That shouldn't or will never define who I am today. And please note, I was never on any hard drugs or any nonsense fabricated online. I will sue. I will definitely sue at the appropriate time. And honestly speaking, the only drugs I was associated with was ecstasy, popularly known as money. Believe it or not, there was a reason for that, which I will explain. Which I will never, ever explain anymore. It hurts so much to watch a brand my family and I built with love, patience, sacrifice, and consistency nearly torn apart. But God stood firmly. Yes, He said no. And that's a grace no man, I mean, no one can ever contend with. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone who stood by me. I love and appreciate you all. And to those I disappointed, please accept my sincere apologies. But trust me, your disappointment will not last for long. It's not by my power, but by the grace of God. Thank you so much, everyone, and a happy new year.
Wow, wow,
Okay,
wow,
so
wow, wow. All right, so I'm gonna mute that. Wow, well, let's talk about Regina Daniels real quick. She said a lot in that video, but let me read our caption out. If you know, you know. We've been talking about Regina Daniels and Eduoko. Regina Daniels, an actress out of Nigeria, and she was married recently to a Senator Nedunwoko, and she has run away from the house, and she's not allowed to see her kids now until further notice. Nedunwoko insists that she must go through drug testing, but it looks like she's in the US, and she just went to do the drug test by herself, and she showed some videos and stuff like that. And for those of you that are obsessed with looking for evidence, this is better than a VDM style evidence any day. That's a real clinic that she went to, and she showed the report. You can zoom in and you can look at it. I didn't, because honestly, I don't. The stories already make sense to me. But if you want to, you can zoom in and look at it. The caption says, the past few months of my life have been nothing short of heavy. One of those seasons that tries to sit on your chest and ask, so what are we doing next? It has been a major turning point, one that shook me to my core. Everything I had ever known was drowning right in front of me, but here's the plot twist. I didn't drown with it. Why? Because I was carried by overwhelming love, support, patience, and understanding from my family, my friends, members of the general public. And for that, I am forever grateful, and much reflection and a few very long conversations with myself, I decided to take this test because I owe it to the people who stood by me, the people who love me, and the people who love up to me. Integrity matters, accountability matters, peace of mind especially matters. One thing that echoed loudly across the media was Regina is a drug addict. And honestly, I paused when I checked again. I looked at myself in the mirror repeatedly, searching for this so-called addict. I searched so hard, it almost felt like I was going psychic, because surely I must be missing something. That's when it hit me. People often project insecurity, um, their fears, insecurity, and the negativity onto you, but projection is not reality and noise is not truth. Here's a choice we all have to make. Do you allow yourself to be defined by other people's opinions, or do you create your own narrative? As for me, I chose the latter every single time. I like how she said create narrative, not control narrative. What Panet seems to be doing mostly on their side is to control the narrative. Well, it's not just him. The general people that don't know how to use their power would do that. Okay, this can go from anywhere from personal relationships to even at a macro level, societal issues. Okay, creating narrative, is nothing wrong with that, especially if you're creating narrative, trying to tell a story, right? But controlling narrative, there could be a blurry line between the two, I might add. Let me continue. It says, the same mouth that was used to spoil my name is the same mouth that will build it back up. This chapter of my life is now about self-discovery, self-growth, and becoming even more intentional about who I am and where I'm going. I thank God endlessly for his grace, his strength, and his excellence in my life. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, is that he has carried me through it all. I'm still standing, still growing, and just getting started. And yes, we move. Happy New Year, everyone. Type share. I can see Natasha Akpoti says, your journey is yours to own, and I am so proud of you, my darling. All right, that's a nice one. Peter P Square said, remain blessed, Gina. Looks that Zip P Republic looks good on you. Okay. This is my very own. Looks like that's Ayola. Shout out to Ayola. Annie DBI is there showing some love. The mom of 5 is there showing some love. These are very, very important people everywhere. Bam Bam, I think that's the actress. Mercy Johnson, of course, showing some love. A lot of people. Oh wow. So she's right that she's getting a lot of love. But besides the love that she's getting, this story makes sense if you sit down, you pay attention. If you have, I'm not going to say anything. Remember yesterday when we covered this, we talked about character assassination. I asked a very simple question: is Ned Nwoko, did he characteristically assassinate our character? That was the question. I'm still asking that question because now she's saying she's going to sue. Okay, see, you can say, but she used Molly. Some people, I see some people in the comment, but say, oh, so Molly, na lollipop. I thought that was a funny question, but I've never been on drugs. I've never smoked a cigarette a day of my life. There's been one occasion that I smoked a cigar. I was on a ship, I think on a ship with some people in Puerto Rico or something like that, and I was like, hey. I'm like over 40. Let me test this thing. What is this thing about? So, but people like me that have never done it before, people like me have a tendency to address this kind of issues from a very myopic standpoint, basically my own righteousness, right? Without asking any questions. The reality is that an average person out there might smoke, they might drink, they might smoke a little marijuana, they might smoke medicinal marijuana, they might do it for recreational. They will do things you will never do for recreational purposes, and that doesn't mean they're addicted, right? Sometimes we take it to the extent of even sexual activities, even things like masturbation. We judge with our own mind. We don't really pay attention to what happens in the grand scheme of things. So what do? We tend to judge. Now, the other thing we tend to say is that we might say things like, oh, just call out a spade a spade. Let's just call it what it is. Smoking is smoking and drug is drug. But actually, it's not just an opinion. You're actually just wrong. I know you like to call out a spade, but I want to leave it right there. Just wanted to drop some hints in there for you. I want you to think about this, right? Could she be addicted? Yes. This doesn't really tell us much. I want you to, beyond looking for evidence, just think about this case by your own. How can people be manipulative? How can you assassinate a person's character even though you're telling the truth? Where do you choose between trust and truth? Most human beings, not most, all human beings will choose trust over truth. That's the reality. Okay? If a person doesn't make you feel like you can trust them, even if they're telling you the truth, you will tend to push against the truth. Okay, because you can't trust them. It makes you feel unsafe. So can you add that into your assessment? I really like to hear your thoughts on this one. Do me a favor. That was Regina basically speaking her truth. She created a narrative, and I'm asking, do you believe the narrative or not? Abi, you're still calling cap on it. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. I'll be right back. Let's get into some other trendy stories around the world. This is Ola at Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and #1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.